Now, on another matter, the international stage isn't the only area where the Biden administration policies have caused damage that was both foreseeable and foreseen. Back in the springtime, Washington Democrats dumped trillions of dollars in liberal borrowing and spending onto the American people. They pretended it was a COVID relief bill. What it was a recipe for rampant inflation, a silent tax hike on American families. It was clear what would happen. Even liberal economists warned that this was a bad idea that would cause inflation. But just like in Afghanistan, Democrats had made up their minds long ago and were certainly not going to be deterred. Now, working Americans are paying the price. Annual inflation is up 5.4%, tied for the worst inflation in over a decade. It's more than swamped American workers' wage gains over the last year. The Democrats' inflation is turning Americans' workers' pay raises into effective pay cuts, essentially pickpocketing American families. You might think this would give our Democratic friends some pause and encourage them to deal in reality. But alas, that's not what's happening. Instead, they're eager to jam through yet another massive multi-trillion-dollar reckless taxing and spending spree, an effort to move our country to the left, literally forever. Massive new government intrusion into America's child care arrangements, into America's medical prescriptions, into the power grid, new welfare spending that hands out cash with zero work requirements, socialist price setting that would leave our medical system with fewer new cures, and 1,000 more awful far-left policies just like these, all accompanied by a suite of staggering, literally staggering tax hikes that would kill jobs, hurt families, and crush our competitiveness with the Chinese. Details are already emerging about the seismic tax hikes that Democrats are cooking up. More higher taxes on employers and job creators, targeted tax hikes to hit small businesses and family farms, pulling more Americans into the death tax. This tax hiking wish list would add up to one of the biggest tax hikes in American history, at exactly the time their liberal policies already have our economy sputtering. So, Madam President, it's the very last thing American workers need. It's the last thing American families can afford. And Republicans are going to fight these terrible, painful policies tooth and nail.